Hello. I wanted to sort of just do a more specific tap-in transmission today. And the phrase, how we met, sort of came through. And yeah, this feels like it's going to be I guess you could say a love check-in. As soon as I said that, a butterfly, a black and maybe yellow butterfly literally just like flew into my vision. So you could be seeing butterflies. I always like have this resistance to concentrating on this area for some reason. But I've been feeling it very, very, very strongly. And one of you messaged me and asked if there were a lot of synchronicities surrounding this topic, this theme. And it was funny because like literally the day before, it was that day or the day before, I posted a transmission, and I said in that transmission, you may be like bombarded or inundated with so many synchronicities from like an external person, particularly in love. So it was really funny. And then it inspired me to like want to dive a little bit deeper. So here we are. Okay. Yeah. So how we met, I have mentioned, but I'm staying with my sister and my brother-in-law right now, and their kids, my niece and my nephew. And I think I was in the bathroom, and I overheard my nephew asking my brother-in-law what college is. Like, he didn't know what college meant. So cute, right? And my brother-in-law started explaining what college is, and he was like, actually, your mom and I met in college. And my nephew was like, oh, so you guys like went separately and then like wound up meeting together? And my brother-in-law was like, yeah, like exactly. Anyway, so there could be this like how we met sort of, like maybe you're going over in your mind, or maybe it's just like popping up in your mind, like how you met a certain person. It could be different variations of this. Maybe you're about to meet someone that you'll be like telling that story for a long time. I'm thinking of like How I Met Your Mother, the way like Marshall and Lily always tell how they met the story. And even though like Ted eventually says like it wasn't even like that, but over the years it just like became this thing. So there could be something like that, as well as like, yeah, you may just be like someone else that you're connected to. You may be thinking about it, and you may be picking up on that like energetically, or some of you may be experiencing phantom touches, or I just heard phantom feelings. That's interesting. Two dogs just surrounded me as I'm recording right now. Hi. So dogs can be significant in some way, but of course dogs represent loyalty and like man's best friend, right? So there could be an energy of that coming through as well. Okay, I'm going to sit with this for a second because I didn't even have to finish my sentence. My left pointer finger just started to like ache almost, but it wasn't pain as in like, oh, I hurt myself. It was just like, yeah, like a dull ache. The air element on the feminine side. So, there could be this just like literal feeling of like, you may be having aches in certain parts of your body that energetically are connected to this like a love ache. I know this sounds ridiculous, but this is what's coming through. Oh, a love ache. My crown just started to tingle. So yeah, so the feminine collective of this energetic strand may be like just getting a lot, like synchronicities were obviously coming through. Who reached out to me, you'll know it was you, because what you said was so funny. Like the red carpet of synchronicities are rolling out, so it could be that you're also getting a lot of my crown is tingling, but there's such a lightness to it. It's like the more I tune into it, there's like a stream of energy just like gently dancing on my head, but it's like organizing itself. So it doesn't feel like super chaotic. It feels more like, yeah, like the word stream is coming through, just like a dancing stream of visions, memories, future, past, present memories. Like there's just this like almost daydreamy energy, but like also grounded somehow at the same time. But again, you may be picking up on these aches. Now, the masculine collective, when I tune in, it feels like there's an aspect of grieving that's coming through. So at one point, a few months ago, I was saying that it felt like the masculine collective was finally like feeling things they hadn't let themselves feel in like a really long time. Like repressed emotions were coming forth. And then there was like the phase of pineal clarity that came through. And now it feels like there's this like grieving of, I'll say like an old aspect of self-life. So there's like, and also like a longing and a missing. So even if you're connected to this person in the physical, like whatever your relationship is, whether you're separated, connected, you haven't met yet, doesn't matter. There's still going to be like this potential longing for something. Because it feels like, again, they can't fully maybe show up in this moment because of this grieving of, it's like a part of them is dying, you know, an ego death, I guess you could call it if you want to. And so, yeah, they may be grieving, like letting go of something, but there's also this simultaneous excitement for like what's to come. Like it's making space for something. And it feels like there's, I'm seeing a V. So it's like there's a connectedness at the center point of the V where they connect, but then each of you still have like your own line, right? Like your own stream. But this connecting point feels like it's clearing. There's like a clearing of the connecting point, or like some people call it like the third energy body. And it's ushering in this, I just heard like a ship blow a horn. So yeah, that's what it feels like. There's also this intuitive trust that has been, I'll say, I suppose, for lack of labels, lack of other names or phrases, like the feminine collective has been going through this like refinement, discernment process of trusting what you feel, no matter what is going on externally. So, you know, heightening and sharpening your own intuition, your own senses, your clairs, your abilities, what, you know, however it's coming through for you, your creativity, refining your own internal union. The Hierogamic template is coming through. I just recorded for Patreon, and 144, that number kept ringing through my head, and then when I paused at one point, it happened to be 144 on the clock. So yeah, there's something about 144. Also Hydra, the star system Hydra is coming through. You may be seeing snakes, Kundalini. The word scepter just came through. Scepter. Staff, scepter, wand. Oh, my right eye is like almost. What is the sensation? It was almost like something or someone like gripped my right eye. I know that sounds like, or like clamped it. I know it sounds so weird, but I'm not getting like an interpretation, so maybe it will come through later. Okay, I just paused, and it paused with 333 in the timer, as well as 4333, and 43 for me is like a divine union number. So I've been seeing 333 like literally nonstop as well. So you could be seeing that, as well as just heard the name Mary, or the initials Mary. And there was a song that came through the other day so strongly, and then that day I kept hearing a word from that song like over and over. So the Strength card in tarot, lions, fire energy, but the song was from, who was it? Celine Dion. I don't remember the name of the song, but one of the lyrics is like, "You were my strength when I couldn't something. You saw the best there was in me. You lifted me up. Something. I'm everything I am because you love me." Yeah, so there's something about, like, well, that song could connect with you in different ways, of course. But what I'm getting, like, of course, someone in that dynamic of the song was not maybe familiar with being loved just despite their faults. And that's not to excuse people, not to say like you should stay with someone who treats you like crap. That's not what I'm saying. But like to still admit your feelings, even if it's in a way that doesn't like reflect back. Hold on. The energy is like a little bit muddled. So let me take a step back and right? Okay, so a lot of us that are tuned into this sort of dynamic may feel connected or aligned with the phrase like unconditional love templates, like restoring unconditional love templates. And it's so funny because when I'm around certain people, Infinity from Magnetize Yourself, if you're familiar with her channel, she was just talking about how if you're like really sensitive to energetics or whatever you want to use, whatever word, you can like pick up on other people's like perceptions of, like you can almost internalize other people's perceptions. And so this may be happening where, like if I have a conversation with someone who clearly does not see the world that I do at all, like almost maybe opposite, I don't do this as much as I used to actually, because I'm more aware of it, so I can sort of like hold the energy better, or like hold the opposing view and recognize it more. So you may be going through this as well. But if I like have a conversation with someone and then let's say about, I don't know, unconditional love, since that came up, and someone else is like, that doesn't exist, that's so stupid, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll be like, oh yeah, like what am I doing? But so yeah, there may be an energy where you used to be more like that. And maybe now you're recognizing like, okay, I can like hold my own inner knowing more strongly. And then when others have their perceptions, that's totally okay. But it doesn't have to like affect you as much or at all, So there's been something about a sharpening, of that, as well as like, let's say in this dynamic of the song that's coming through, the masculine collective maybe had never had someone to see them so fully, and it, probably scared them a lot. So acting out of fear, but still like this feminine collective of holding that love. Now, again, that doesn't mean just letting them treat you like crap. Like maybe you set some really strong boundaries. Maybe some of you had to walk away. Maybe some of you, or had to pull back your energy or whatever it is. It could be multiple things. But there's still, that phrase, energy never dies. There's still that like, that vision that you feel, the bigger picture, the love, acceptance. Even if it's not going the way you like want it to go, there's still an acceptance for the collective that I'm tuning into, or that's something that you're stepping into. And of course, through that like third energy center that connects on some level, this other person that you're connected to feels that, even if it's subconsciously. And it feels like the amount of time, of course, when we say time, I don't necessarily mean like linear time, but we'll say like almost like vectoring, like a space-time coordinate. Like the coordinates are aligning so that there's like a shift is coming. Did you hear the dog bark? So there's like, there's been this like protective energy around it, and there's like a shift coming because you've been able to hold this frequency or this aligned internal belief system enough where there's starting to show up as movement in the external world, if that makes sense. And now I'm hearing an ambulance. You may be hearing sirens. And yeah, it's like you may be hearing sirens because like the masculine polarity in this dynamic may be like feel like they're being affected by a siren, you know? And like in some mythology, like the sirens will kill the people that are attracted to it. So there could be also this like fear mechanism instilled to like be very weary of that energy. So they've probably had to go through multiple cycles of like being magnetized back into something or someone, you. And again, even if you haven't met this person yet, there's still these cycles that are somehow playing out. So it's like they had to like build up this trust and safety that knowing like they're not going to like basically get killed by this siren that they feel, which like, you know, you're being represented as a siren, the listener. If you're like the opposite and you're listening to this, like, just take it where it fits for you. But that's like the energy dynamic that I'm getting. Very interesting. Yeah, I've been feeling a lot of myrrh being energy. So some of you may be tapping into that. Also, Sirius and Orion, like I already mentioned Hydra, just some like galactic frequencies that are coming through, or like galactic consciousness. Some of you may feel connected to that. Also, yesterday I was inside more than usual since I've been in California the last few weeks. It was raining all day. I did go out in the rain a little bit. But anyway, around dinner time, the light that was coming into the house was this like, the sky was so cool. It was like, you know, after it rains, the sky has like, it's still cloudy, but the clouds are almost like silvery. And then the sun was setting. So it was like this golden, silvery sky. And I was like, there has to be a rainbow. Like, I just feel it. I couldn't see. So I like went and found a window. And sure enough, there was a big rainbow. It was a double rainbow. So rainbows could be significant. But like, some of you may be tapping into like your rainbow body, if you will. But something that feels significant, my nephew, I was like, he's 3, and I was like, do you want to come see the rainbow? And he was staring at something, and like on the wall, or like, I think my brother-in-law was watching football. Maybe he was like looking at the TV, and he was like, yeah, like I'm looking at it. And I was like, no, that's like a football game. Like come. And it's funny because I just got a notification that someone was talking about sports, which like, I never really get that. So sports could be coming through for someone. Oh, there's 2 birds that are flying together, and flew over my head when I said that. Anyway, I finally got my nephew to come over, and he like did not see the rainbow. I was like, do you see it? And I like picked him up so he could see it better. Nothing. Like, he's like, I can't see it. Like, I don't see it. And I was like, oh my God, I feel terrible. Like, I don't know what to do. I couldn't make him see it. So there could be something like that. Like maybe, he just didn't see this rainbow. I don't know. But then there was another window, and my sister came to see it. And then my nephew came to the other window, and then he saw it. So, right? New perspective, a window. What's that expression? A window opens or closes and a door opens. I don't know. There's something like that. Doors and windows could be significant. They can also represent portals. So some of you could feel like there's, like you just walked in to a new portal. Maybe some of you are doing like walking meditations where you're like walking around, and I used to do this a lot. It's been a while. It's almost like you're led to these different places on your walk, and you see like signs and breadcrumbs of symbols and messages, and you wind up like at an archway, and then you walk through, and it's like you just went through like a portal. This could be happening like on walks, like I said, or in your dreams, meditations, just like in your imagination. I'm using quotes for imagination. Okay, now I was just checking my notes. There was this experience that came through within the last week, I've been meaning to record about it, but it just hadn't felt like the right time. And I was at the beach. And my nephew loves when we take the sand, like the wet sand, in a bucket and bring it back to the dry sand so that he can make stuff with it. But he's kind of like weird with water, so he doesn't like love going really close to the water. So I go and I get the sand for him, whatever. And when I went and did this, like went to the water, did my little thing that I like to do when I go visit water, got the sand, came back, and there was a little crab. And he was like so freaked out by it. He was like, oh my God, there's a guy. He like ran so far away. And I was like, where's he going? My sister's like, oh, there's a crab. He gets really freaked out. But we bring the crab back to, the wet sand to the water so it can go back into its home or whatever. Okay, fine. So I love that. So I take the crab and I show him like, okay, I'm going back. Don't worry. Now, crabs, of course, the sign of Cancer, with this idea of like the hard shell and then the soft inside. Some of you, if you want to look up the spiritual meaning of a crab, feel free to share that in the comments, or you could have like another personal connection to crabs. But anyway, so something told me to just do this like releasing ritual with this crab, because a person that I feel connected to, we joke, him and I, that he's like a crab. Anyway, so I don't know if he said crab, but like hard on the outside and soft on the inside, which always makes me think of a crab. Anyway, so I just like felt this call to do like a releasing ritual. It wasn't long because I had to, be really back quickly for my nephew, but it was just like a quick little thing. So I did it. I did my little releasing ritual. So some of you may have just done something similar, or maybe you did it a while ago, or you're feeling called to do something like that. I didn't even think much about it. Whatever. Got the bucket, got some more sand, and I checked the sand. Like, no crabs. Great. Come back. A little, and I went to a different spot, so it definitely wasn't the same crab. And same thing happens. My nephew dumps it out, and he's like, crab, runs the other way. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, how is there a crab in there? And it was like, I don't know, it just felt very symbolic, because like I tried to release the crab, and somehow a crab came back. And it's like, it was like instant. And as soon as I said that, I just saw something fall literally out of thin air. I mean, I don't know if something flew by or the wind just like, there were like two, I'm not sure what it was, looked like sticks that just, oh, another one. It's like this tree is releasing needles, but like so far the wind's carrying them, but it looks like it's coming out of nowhere. So yeah, anyway, so some of you may feel like you are releasing, and right after I did this little releasing ritual and then the crab came back, I kept seeing all day. So I was hearing messages, seeing so many more. I was already getting so many signs and synchronicities, but it like ramped up. So yeah, this could be for some of you where, I want to say that with this though, there feels like a very, what is the phrase I want to use? Like a healthy detachment. Like even though this crab came back, I was just like, I was laughing like, okay, sure. So yeah, it really does just feel like there's a balanced approach of like a knowing, a detachment, surrender, and trust of like what's meant for you will be there, and you're just like living your life and doing what you're doing, and like things may feel like they're starting to like open up for you, and yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting. I've also been hearing like so many old, I guess I'll call them like old rap songs or like hip-hop R&B like in my head for like, I want to say weeks now. Like almost every day there's like some sort of song that keeps popping in my head that like I haven't heard in forever. What was one of them? Like Back That Thing Up. Another one was like Peaches and Cream. Just like all these like very like, I guess, sexual, like old, Tweet, for Missy Elliott and Tweet. Oops. Yeah, like all these different songs. Like So someone may really like that genre of music, or there's just this like very like pent up sexual aspect of this that also is coming through like crazy. There's also like, I don't know, like, how do I explain this? I was feeling this myself, and then I listened to someone else who said it, and I was cracking up because I was like, I was literally just like feeling this and experiencing this for the collective. Like, you know, you may be like, you and or a person that you're connected to may be like holding your own hand, but then like feeling it as if the other person's with you, or like touching a part of you that likes to be touched, and like, again, those like phantom touches, but also like visualizing it. I know that was coming through. Ooh, I just got like a tingle on my right temple. Ooh. Yeah. The gateway. Gateway. I don't know, I just want to keep saying the word gateway. You may also be seeing 666, and the word devotion or devotional just came through. Yeah, I'm feeling like Pavarti. I also just heard in my head, what is that song? Locomotion? I don't know why that came through, but I heard that. Yeah, I also keep getting, okay, so like, let's say you're really drawn to like visualizing something right now, or like maybe in the past, like a vacation, a road trip, something like that. It feels like it's 2:22 on my clock right now as I'm saying this. Yeah, there's some sort of like alignment energy for a desire that you've maybe been, it may not come in the way you expect, you know, like I'm not really saying that, but it does feel like something is coming through in connection with something that you've been like conjuring, if you will, or just like feeling. Maybe I was just talking in the Jetstream transmission overflow on Patreon about being able to sense something right before it happens, and I gave a couple examples, and in this case it feels like you may have been like picking up on something that felt like a daydream that maybe is like a shared desire that may come to fruition in some way. And or a conversation about something that you could plan in the future, you know, something of this nature is coming up. Yeah. Whew. I just felt like this sinking in my sternum, like in my chest, like a sinking feeling. So again, that also bats, I'm seeing owls and bats. Yeah, like this nighttime energy. So there could be like clearer channels to receive messages at night, whether that's like, again, through cards, dreams, divination, a knowing, claircognizance, whatever it is. I'm going to leave it here. Thank you. And I will do an overflow Patreon. I'm not really sure, honestly, what's going to come through. I'm just going to kind of leave it open. It's like I want to keep ending it, but then I like every time I go, you know, when you're like on the phone with someone, it's been a while that this has happened, but if you're on the phone with someone and it's like you go to say bye, but then like no one hangs up, like this is the energy that I feel. Like I keep going to end it, and I'm like, I don't really have anything to say either for some reason, which is really weird. I usually have so much to say, but there's also just like this like lingering, like I'm not really ready to end yet. Very interesting. I just heard the word peep and then like peep toe, which I think it's like a type of shoe. I did have a dream actually not that long ago where this like masculine polarity was with a different person, but it felt like in the dream it was weird. It was like they were dating someone but like not at the same time. Like they were, but it was almost like they didn't even know that they were dating someone. I know that sounds like totally crazy, but it kind of reminds me of like metaphorical, like being on autopilot or making choices out of either expectation from others or unconscious, things that they're doing just because, like, that external energy, or like if you want to call it like whatever you want to call it, it's like maybe they're making choices out of this like unaware state, and it's like they wake up and they're like, well, what am I doing? Like, that's kind of the energy that I'm getting. So that could be happening for some of the masculine collective. Of course, this could be internal aspects of yourself as well. But in the dream, the masculine polarity said, I really like when you wear heels. So we can take that also in some metaphorical. It can be literal as well. Maybe that's literal. But what I'm getting with the metaphorical aspect is like putting yourself on a pedestal. Like a heel gives you height. Sometimes it can bring confidence. It changes the way you walk. It's like putting yourself on this. It's funny because I've tapped into this dream a few times and I didn't get that interpretation of the symbology until right now. So that feels like a message in itself. But yeah, so I hope whoever is hearing this, if you need to remember to just, maybe you've been wanting to wear heels and like you haven't, or maybe you need to find a good comfortable pair of heels, or just, putting yourself on that pedestal, and not in like a way that's like, of course, detrimental, but in a way that makes you feel, there's something about like posture or feeling taller or feeling like the Pleiadian energy is coming through, and it feels like biophotons, like the light activations that are happening, like may feel like your body may be changing. Like you may have been for a really long time feeling this, like, I don't know, like maybe you just feel like your body was like not doing what you felt like you wanted it to do in some way, whether that's like the shape, your weight, your skin complexion, maybe multiple things, your hair, I don't know, but it feels like there's all of a sudden whatever efforts that you've been, or desires that you've had for yourself, it feels like there's going to be this like light body integration, and it's going to show up externally. And it might literally feel like all of a sudden it happens overnight. Like, I don't know, maybe you've been doing something for a while and maybe you were seeing like incremental results, or it was like rubber banding where you would have like a really good week and then you would feel like all of a sudden, and it just feels like, boom, this like light body integration happens, and you're like, I feel taller, I feel more vitality, I feel, insert whatever it is for you. I just saw roses and I heard the word rosacea, and I'm also seeing what is the Latin for word, it's like rosea Damascus or something like that. I'm seeing Bulgarian roses, and maybe some of you like to work with rose water. Seeing lilies, violet, Lilith is coming through. Yeah, so it does feel like there's this light body activation that's coming through as an internal glow that is showing up externally. And for some of you, even if it's not physical, maybe you're already at your peak physical feeling, and it just may be like your aura that's feeling different, and people may notice but they can't like put their finger on it, and for some of you it may be both. So yeah, that's a beautiful way to, I think, oh my gosh, wait, just as I was about to end, I came down off of my little hill that I was sitting on, and I just realized somehow like a rock got in my shoe. So yeah, there may be these little, it's like roses have thorns, little I don't know what the word I'm looking for, a little nuisance here and there. But that took 2 seconds. I just took the rock out of my shoe and I'm good to go. So yeah, it feels like your relationship to, like, this came through another transmission, like to nuisance or to interference is also diffusing. Like there may not be as much friction where maybe in the past it was like that lack of control was more frustrating, but now there may be this more like acceptance to it and it diffuses much quicker. And this can carry on, I feel like, into relationship dynamics as well. I'm seeing someone like take what I just said, not literally, but like placing it in their back pocket. Like, okay, I'll remember this for when, you know, it comes up in the future with like, let's say this dynamic that we've been channeling into, or something like that. Okay, yes. I think we are now officially closing out for this transmission. Okay, thank you.